Here is a coaching cycle notebook. And in this notebook, I kind of adapted some of the prompts from this amazing impact cycle coaching tool. And so right here, you can kind of see that I've adapted this resource from another educator, and it's just been a really helpful kind of guide throughout. And so I kind of thought, oh my gosh, this would be great in this coaching notebook that I was kind of building out already. So again, it might be something that you might want to look at. That's going to be on the speaker notes right here if you're interested in looking into this resource. So what's going to happen is first, I'm going to go ahead and edit any of these slides that I want to delete or use within my coaching cycle. Or I can change any of those questions as well. Once I kind of have the setup and the look that I really want to have within my slide deck, then I'm ready to assign this to my teachers. And the reason I want to assign this to my teachers is because I want to kind of keep this organized. I want to be able to support them along the way with their learning and reaching their coaching goals. And so I go ahead and I create a Google Classroom class for my teachers. You can also do this in Canvas, Schoology, or Microsoft Teams. Once I create my class, I head over to Classwork and I create a Kami assignment. And on this Kami assignment, I'm able to type in the coaching cycle. I also like to organize it by quarters. So I'm going to maybe say, hey, this is for quarter one, because then in quarter two, I'll assign a new one, and we'll work hopefully on some new goals. Or I could say like 1, 2, and then I can assign different things as I'm working with that teacher. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Google Drive, and I go ahead and find that binder. So there's that binder right there. And I'm going to go ahead and make a copy for every single student. And I can choose multiple classes. I could also pick and choose the teachers in my class if everyone is not working on a coaching cycle this quarter. And I'm going to hit assign. And it's going to assign to every single one of my learners. And my teachers will be able to access it by going to their learning management system, hopping over to Classwork. It's going to probably take a moment to assign just because it is a pretty large document. Yep, it's still thinking. And so while we're having that wait in here, teachers will have like a coaching cycle focus, and it's going to focus on the 4 steps: setting goals, research, implementation, and reflection. So first, they're going to set goals, and they're going to kind of walk through different activities to set these different goals. And then we go through research. We're going to talk about implementation, and then reflection. And again, you can kind of come in here, add, take away whatever you need to make your coaching goals a little bit more successful with your teachers. So I went ahead and assigned it. I'm going to go ahead and open this up in Kami. So this is the teacher view. The teacher is going to get access to their binder. And what the teacher can do is they can make notes. They can kind of maybe show which part of the coaching cycle they're currently working towards. They can write all of their gripes. So Gripe Jam is just where teachers will kind of come on here and write anything that might be bothering them about their classroom. And I can use all of these gripes within a coaching cycle as well. And then what they do is they list it out from more frustrating to least frustrating. Then they kind of tell me how many students, don't have student ownership. How many is it affecting? How much is classroom management affecting? Right? Parent communication, questioning. And so again, they kind of rate it from most frustrating to less, going this way. And then they raise it up based on those kind of gripes that they have and how many people are affected by those gripes. And then here, if I'm doing an observation, again, depending on the teacher, I might come in and I might cross this one off, right? It just kind of maybe depends, but I usually do like to try to get an observation plan. So I'll come in before, what's the purpose that I'm going to see in the visit? What's the feedback you want, what am I kind of looking for, right? And so again, I can highlight and I can use this to kind of help with our discussion. And then I have all of the notes the teacher can see as well, everything that's taking place in this binder. So let's go ahead and view what the coach might see. So what I did is, because I created that assignment in Kami, I'm able to come in here and I can click open with Kami. It's probably going to take a moment to load, but because I have assigned this right into Kami, I'm able to see all of my students or all of my teachers at the exact same time, which can be really helpful when I'm planning professional learning with my staff. Because if I notice that teacher Haley maybe needs help with classroom management, but so does this teacher, or maybe I highlighted some area with the same data, I can perform small group or professional learning that is more tailored to my staff on those PD days. I can also come in and I'm going to just kind of zoom in and we're going to focus on one teacher and go over the binder. So again, here's that gripe jam where you first list out all of your gripes. And if the teacher wanted to vent and just talk it out, I could grab the text box and I could type different things that they're saying as well. So for example, maybe it is, DOK. They're struggling with DOK, right? Engagement. The teacher is going to see that pop up on their end as well. So anything they add to their binder, anything I add to the binder, the teacher is going to see. So it's very transparent between us. Now, because I did not add my administrator into this Google Classroom, they will not have access to this unless the teacher decided to share this with the principal during that observation. But confidentiality is super important in a coaching cycle, so you need to have that conversation with the teacher or always ask, can I share this with your principal? And then again, the observation plan. I like to go in before I start a coaching cycle, and here I'm able to type, in the back. Yes, they don't care that I talk with students, right? And I can come in and I can highlight how that teacher feels about me walking around. If it's videotaped, I can add it here. I can explain, how are we going to share data, right? Face-to-face, email. When's our next meeting? I can come in and add using the text box. And then right here is, high impact survey. And this comes from Jim Knight. And so I can come in here and I'm able to kind of use maybe a drawing tool and quickly check, right? Did she clearly state the lesson goals, right? Yes, no, yes, no. And again, because I have all of this data in here, I'm going to be able to quickly see how my teachers are performing to make insights on my instruction. Now I can also come over here to Classio. And within Classio, there's a new feature called Kami Questions. And what I'm able to do with Kami Questions is I could come in and I could convert maybe, for example, this page right here. And I could maybe say, let's see here, page 9 to page 9. And it will take these questions and it's going to type those questions for me over in this sidebar. And so I can also create data if I wanted to by creating Kami questions, and I can create those from scratch. I can generate based on the information, and I can also convert. So maybe here, these yes, no questions, I wanted to convert those into Kami questions. And so I could do that, and then I could use that data to really help drive that conversation that I have with that teacher. So here's that on a scale. What pleased you about the lesson, right? And so then when I'm looking over my teacher's data, I'm going to go ahead and hit update all. They're able to come in to that page and they can answer these questions. And then as they're working, I'm able to come over back to class view and see their work in real time. And I'm able to see how my teachers are answering those questions to help guide my coaching cycle. So again, I can come over here and see, how did they rate this lesson? I could have changed this this answer to be a scale of 1 to 10, right? But I didn't. But again, I could just go in here and again, I can come in at any time, update all of their binders at the same time to whatever I needed. So maybe again for this one, I wanted to do 1, or I just want, 10, 8, and 9. And I can get rid of these other ones, update all, update. That was supposed to be a 9. We'll fix it real quick. Update all, go back to class view, and now I can come in and really look over those answers and see what they rated their lessons. So again, I'm able to use update work, which will update all my teachers' binders, and I can use this to help guide my PD of where I want my teachers to go. So that first step again is setting goals. A heat map allows me during an observation to come in. I love to use the markup tool, and I will use these 3 colors. And I'm able to come in and I'm able to kind of highlight, what's going on in this classroom. And so I can see, is the teacher spending more time over here? Are they reaching the back of the class? And I'm able to kind of do a quick heat map to see where my teachers are. Reflection questions. This can help teachers set goals. They're going to kind of start with, I want to. Okay, what do they want to do, right? That they will. And so again, these can just be really helpful where they can come in, they're able to highlight, and then they can write their goal down here. Or I might have them write their goal up here towards the top so I can focus with that teacher on their goal. Here's another version of a coaching cycle that can also provide additional data. It's very similar to this one that I found on that Simply Coaching Summit. And then research. So research is that next step. So this is where we want to identify a goal and identify a strategy. So again, teachers can come in and they're able to highlight, right, their goal. So, is it powerful? It's going to make a difference in children's life. Easy, it's simple, easy to understand. Emotionally, is it matter a lot to the teacher, right? And so what is kind of that focus for that goal? And what's the strategy? So this again is using a coaching cycle framework, and then what kind of strategies might really support this teacher. So again, based on your coaching strategy, you might need to make updates or changes, but there's also an instructional playbook listed right here where you can pull strategies to support that teacher in their learning. And then I can come in and we're able to create, a checklist. So we're able to explain what strategy we're going to try, and then what's the success criteria look like while our teachers are using that strategy. And what's really great about this resource is if you click up here, there's actually a one-pager, and there's actually a link to a checklist. So right here, this can help you. If you're trying to do explicit teaching, you want to make sure that you give clear and concise skills. So I could just copy this over, or even better, I could come over and take a screenshot of this, insert that on for this teacher's page, or again, I could copy and paste it over if I wanted to. But then I'm able to come on here and do a quick check, and I can also again see what every single teacher is working on in that coaching cycle. I can talk about what's working, what's our current focus, the teacher's next step, my next step, and again, we're both able to type on this document together collaboratively. Implementation. So now we're ready to model, right? Do they want, me to come in and model the lesson? Do they want me to visit another teacher's classroom with them? Do they want to watch a video? What is it that they want in order to implement this strategy that we suggested could ease up their goal or their gripe? So again, the teacher is going to have kind of a menu, and again, you could update any of these slides to really support what you need for your staff. And then reflection. Reflection is going to be really, really powerful, where I'm able to come in and I'm able to kind of explain or talk about, what's on my mind, and have them kind of think about how did that implementation go, right? Did I like it? What pain points do I still have? What improvements need to be done? And then what's next? What's my next plan? And then again, I typically go back to Google Classroom, reassign the same coaching cycle again to my teachers, and then we're able to focus on their next gripe, or maybe there's a new gripe that has kind of popped up that they want to focus on. So we can, again, repeat that process. And again, this takes about, anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks to get through a coaching cycle. And people might be on at different times, and that's totally okay as well. And so sometimes I will even come in and hide these activities from teachers because maybe I want them to maybe slow down, right? I want them to really reflect. So I can come in, use the shape tool, fill it, and hide these pages from those teachers, and they can't delete them. Only I'm able to, or I'm not ready for them to see, how I scored them. So I can come in, cover over my scores until I'm ready to talk with them in that conference or in their planning time. So that can be, again, another helpful resource for you to try. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, but I think this might really help you drive your coaching cycles and your instruction with your staff.